Inquiry learning in our classroom allows the students to ask questions and to engage and interact in what they're interested in. So every year we try to do inquiry learning depending on the students' interests, and we follow and guide the students depending on what they want to know more about.
I like learning about things that I'm passionate about, and I also like things that other people are passionate about and working together with other people as well.
I think the biggest thing is tapping into their interests, finding something they're passionate about and allowing them to find their way, take control of their learning and find out their answers for themselves.
Another thing about inquiry-based learning is the differentiation. So students can work at their own pace, at their own level, and it's amazing what things they bring up. And I've got students looking at the periodic table in chemistry, which I don't think they get to high school, but that's what they're interested in. It's really amazing to see that growth, and there's no cap, there's no limit on what they can learn.
You see kids, they're totally engrossed in what they're doing. I've never seen my staff so excited in what they're doing.
Inquiry learning to me is authentic learning, working within the curriculum frameworks as well. So it brings the outside world into the classroom, and it allows us to look deeply within the students' interests and also incorporate what the students need to learn at the pre-primary level.
The school focuses on the development of the academic side of the child, their intellect. That is paramount at Peter Moyes. But that's not all that the school focuses on. They see the child as a whole human being, and they also focus on the social development, the interaction with other children. They look at the physical well-being of the child. So they're learning in class, and I think that's a very big part of it. But there are more than one learning style at Peter Moyes.
And that's really important, is to give kids that control of their learning, because then they want to learn.
If you're walking into the classroom looks like it's hopefully student-led, where the students are guiding the teacher. So if they're interested, for instance, my class is very engaged and interested in bugs right now. So if you see them outside on the playground, they're looking at bugs, they're catching bugs. But then it's my job as the teacher to facilitate that and bring it into the classroom. How can we look at insects? How can we then bring that into maths and language and writing and reading?
So they've got the garden program going, which is great, and she comes home and talks about it. They do cooking and, telling me all about herbs and, so lots of fun stuff, but you're obviously seeing them learn as well.
My favourite thing was pulling out the weeds and seeing all the roots and planting the seeds for the capsicums.
I really enjoyed when we smoothened out the soil and we made the holes to plant the capsicum seeds.
I like going to the compost and looking at all the bugs inside it, because I really like bugs, and our compost, it helps us with our garden.
We have such a wonderful nature playground, and the kids are encouraged to go outside and to discover and to learn new things in their own way. So I love that about the school, the fact that it's not only in the classroom, but my kids get excited about going into nature, and that's the opportunity they are given. They can play with water, they can take off their shoes and just be themselves and relax in an environment where they can just learn.
My favourite thing was probably cooking.
I like when we grate all the vegetables and peel them and grate them on the thing with all the holes. We've made muffins, we made biscuits, and out of mostly herbs. My favourite was the muffins.
We've been trying to make the learning as authentic as possible. So that includes taking it out to the community, making sure that the children are learning what they're doing at school, that it is not just school-based. For example, in pre-primary at the moment, we've introduced the ANCHORAGE aged care facility, where we take our children across the road to go and chat to what they call the wise people, because they've been, it was part of our inquiry on the past, the present, the future. We talked a lot about how people grow up, people change, but they all started from the same place and have moved on. And by doing this, the children became very inquisitive about the older people across the road. So now we take them across there, and they collaborate and share with the wise people across the road. They show them what we're doing in our classroom, so we take exactly what we've been learning here across there, and it just gives the children a little bit more ownership over what they're doing.
So the students were given the opportunity to visit an aged care facility just down the road. And I was fortunate enough to go with the first one that we went there. And I went in there not knowing what to expect. And then I saw the exchange between the children and the older people, the wise people as they call them. And I tell you what, it was such an amazing, heartwarming experience. Yes, I got teary because the children couldn't wait to share their work with the people there. They couldn't wait to sing to them. And the way it was appreciated and received was just amazing.
Inquiry learning really came out of beach school, so we went to beach school every week, and from there we really tapped into the kids' curiosity and their interests, and straight away they were interested in the shark nets. So they came away from beach school, what are the shark nets, why are they for, will they hurt the animals, why do we need them, what are they made of? And then from there we got expert speakers to come in and talk about the shark nets, which then it really led to more of the ocean conservation. So the kids were really interested in how could we protect our marine life as well as our coastlines. So we got another expert speaker out to talk about protecting the dunes, and then she spoke about microplastic, and that's really where it exploded.
Facilities and the grounds are undeniably state of the art and very beautiful. I think that the children are very lucky to have that.
One thing that this classroom offers students is a flexible learning style that caters for all learning types and personalities. For example, we have couches, beanbags, swivel chairs, swinging chairs, stand-up stations. And with inquiry-based learning, it really enables students to work at their best and suit their needs.
So I think it's very, secure, family-orientated environment. I think it nurtures them. Probably that's for me that's the best part of it.
I think one of the things that we're trying to create that makes us innovative is that we question what we're doing and we think outside the box. And so we're moving our learners from being a passive traditional school to being actually active learners.
The two youngest especially, we've seen it as they've gone through the inquiry-based learning programme. Is they're just asking questions and they're thinking and they're learning. It's just incredible to see.
These new ideas have come on board and the school's really jumped on that, and that's been exciting, and you see it through the school and throughout the grounds of the school as well. And then obviously that's going on to the kids and what they're coming home with. So
we've been trying to make the learning as authentic as possible. So that includes taking it out to the community, making sure that the children are learning what they're doing at school, that it is not just school-based, that it can then be taken out of the school, take it home. Children are learning when they take what you've told them at home and used it at school and used it somewhere else.
We're in the developmental stages and we're doing some amazing things, but I'm really excited to see where it goes next.